Yeah,
Look at his face.
yeah. Too up, too down.
Look at his
Hey.
face.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted the crown and to be celebrated. I rented a tux and I ordered a mink. Stood in the mirror like mama, I made it. Proceeded to brush in the teeth in the sink. Caught me a grill and I'm so melanated. I polished the chain, I ain't gold in the link. And I got me a baby who gave me some babies. I'm raising a lady and building a king. Too cold, you too busy running with another man lane, I guess. Yeah, too bold. I be running on the one way, never change my set like, I don't ever use my signals, yeah. I be in the lane myself, yeah. I don't gotta change my mental, yeah. And I ain't gotta chase my wealth, and I accept my daddy got a kingdom, and everything I ever got is his. If I ever got a problem, I'ma seek him. I never doubt him, been about his biz, oh man, been there. I ain't gotta ride on the wave when the ocean is his. Close with the kid with a
What's good, baby? It's your boy Dale. I'm back in the saddle again. Our motto is to buy, build. We already bought it already, so we already own it, free and clear. Refinance to long-term debt, cash flow. That is the motto. Cliff, man, is that a pretty strong motto, man? What do you think?
Man, the model is strong. Like, you're getting each piece of the invest, right?
What it do, y'all? It's your partners Dale and Cliff back in the saddle again for another edition of Real Estate Friday live, guys. We call it the Investors Edge. Cliff, how you doing, big time? You doing all right, baby?
Man, doing good, man.
Yes, sir, man. You know I gotta ask it every time, man. Did we get the bag?
Oh, yeah, we get the bag every week.
Yeah, we got that bag, y'all, man. If you could, guys, like, share, and subscribe if you don't mind, guys. That helps the algorithm. If we give you some value, please let us know what's going on, guys. And at the exact same, if there's a little bell at the top, guys, do us a favor. Click on that bell. So when Cliff and I come live, you're blessed because you get to see us. And we look better than you. It's all good, baby. That's what it is. But guys, let's dive into this thing real fast, Cliff. Cliff, real quickly, man. Let's dive into what we normally do real quickly. We normally go through a current market analysis, man. What you seeing in the market? What's going on, Big Dog? What you seeing?
Man, I've been saying this for the last couple of weeks. Is the market's basically going sideways. It's stagnant. It's not a strong market. It's a seller's or it's a buyer's market. I'm seeing prices get lower, and people are just not able to move their property as much. So interest rates they're still pretty low, or they're getting lower. They're cutting in more interest rates, I think, coming up. So I think we in this market for a minute, because at the end of the day, if jobs don't improve, if people's income doesn't improve, we're not going to see a huge comeback in the real estate market until that changes.
Yeah, I kind of see the same thing, guys. It is a seller's market. I'm sorry, it's a buyer's market. Forgive me, buyer's market. The reason why, guys, is because again, rates. There's a reason why President Trump is going out right now. He's preparing to go out and sell his economic vision. Now, I do anticipate a 2026 boom because of the Stable Act, the Genius Act was, I think, is what it's called. That when it comes to cryptocurrency, also when the big beautiful bill, those tax cuts come into play as well. And this will be the first year of the Trump budget, because we're still going through the Biden budget this year, which is fine. Then also you actually have the Federal Reserve Chairman not resigning, but his term ends, I believe, in May of 2026. Therefore, there'll be a new Fed chairman that comes in, and I think it's going to be Scott Bessent, the current Secretary of Treasury. He's made his billions in currency exchange. That's how he's made his billions, so he knows what he's doing there. And then also another Fed governor will be replaced as well also, and therefore you have a more friendlier type of Federal Reserve policy when it comes to what Trump is looking to do. And Cliff can go into a diatribe of him not liking the current federal chairman. Am I right, Cliff?
You don't know what he's doing. I don't know what he's doing.
I believe he knows what he's doing. My thing is, I think he is doing it in spite of what's going on. This is my opinion. I may be wrong. I think this is politically or orchestrated, in my opinion.
I think he dumb. He don't know what he's doing. He say one thing, say the opposite the next Fed chair, and then he gotta go.
I mean, Cliff, man, talk to us nice, man. Did you send him a Christmas card, man, in the mail, bro?
Not with his dumb ass. No, I don't care. He don't know what he doing, man. I'm done with him. He need to move. He need to go. We need to move on.
Well, I gotta say, I agree with Cliff, man. It's time for him to go, guys. It's time for him to go. Guys, today we're talking about a couple of things. Hey, is America turning into a renter's nation? Is it a myth or is it a reality? Number two, man, we're gonna revisit this portable mortgages thing, and we're gonna explain it because we're gonna talk about what it looks like and how this may be implemented in 2026. Also, in today's market, should you buy or rent a property now? We're gonna talk to you guys about what investors are doing when it comes to this type of market, man. Let's dive into this first topic, guys, really quickly, guys, if you don't mind. 1 second, you got to wait. Now, here's our first topic, guys, real quickly. Let me get to it. Where did it go? Boom. Renter Nation. Is America a renter's nation right now? Is it? Well, we're going to get a retail response and an investor response to this question, right? First of all, let's go to this first guy. You guys know who this man is. Millions of people listen to him all the time. I don't know how Cliff feels about him, but it's your boy, Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey loves, he loves, but like this here, let me see. No. Okay, boom, here we go. Now, Dave Ramsey loves talking about the retail, but he's talking about should someone buy or should someone rent in today's market? Let's get into it. Here we go.
What about the state of the housing market too, with affordability getting really low because you have rates staying up, you have home prices are staying up. Overall, it's getting much more difficult to buy a home. A lot of people are saying maybe you should start considering renting when the American dream has always been to buy a house. What do you say to maybe a person that's debating between renting and buying a home now?
Long term, always buying a home is a good idea. Buying a home you can't afford is not a good idea. So if the affordability issues are affecting you as a person, then obviously you need to sideline until you can get your situation straightened out. Here's what's interesting about that discussion is it applies to some people and it doesn't apply to others. You talk to I talked to a kid the other day who just came out a 4-year degree in supply chain, brand new college graduate, making 140 right out the gate. He's not worried about affordability in Nashville, Tennessee. He can do it. He's freaking 23 years old. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
he's not.
What
got
did he
that
graduate
issue.
with? What was his major in?
Supply chain.
Okay.
Supply chain. Logistics. So, yeah, I mean, killed it. It's a great degree field. And, you talk to another person who's, I talked to Leigh the other day who just finished up her stuff in cybersecurity. She's making $400K. She's not worried about, so she's not having this discussion. But it's people who are stuck in their careers and they're not advancing their incomes faster than the house prices or the interest rates are advancing, the cost or affordability issues. And so then they start to read the news and they start to read the wealth equality stuff. And they're like, oh, well, life's unfair. I can't buy right now. There's been times in my life I couldn't buy.
But just because they could buy, does that mean that they should?
Good question.
Because just from what I'm seeing, this is the first time I've ever seen the housing market where, to me even, it makes more sense to rent. And I'm looking at properties, and I've been looking at properties daily for years throughout LA, California, Vegas, and I'm looking at the rent to sale ratio. And throughout most of these areas, you could rent for half the price it would cost you to buy it. And when I'm looking at the interest rates and the property taxes and the insurance, I would rather just rent.
It might be the case for a year, or it might be the case for 2 years. I don't know. I got my real estate license in 1978. We've had that discussion before. So I've watched this a long, long time. And the thing I know is if I'm talking to a 40-year-old and they never buy a house, the 80-year-old version of them is going to be really pissed. Because their cost of housing over that 40 years, 100% chance it's going up.
So Cliff, man, real quickly, concerning Dave Ramsey on this, what he was saying concerning renting versus buying, he's talking from a retail standpoint. What are your thought process on what he's prescribing for this topic?
Yeah, it always depends on your situation, right? I mean, like he was saying, same thing about where your income is, where everything kind of sits. But right now, it's you know what? Another part is where you're living. The properties that he brought up, that Graham brought up, Man, California, yeah, it's going to be 50% because you and I both know if you're a landlord and you rent properties, there's a price point that you hit where you just stop really making money on the rent, and you're more playing the appreciation game.
Correct.
You're playing the diff. So yeah, if you're in those areas where you get above, I don't know, let's just say $500,000, and your rent is always going to be cheaper than buying the house.
Correct.
The difference is on a $1 million house in California, it's appreciating $30,000 to $40,000 a year.
Correct.
So what you're saving in terms of rent, you're making up for on appreciation, and that's compounding. So
correct. Yeah, I can agree with that. I think that Dave Ramsey gave some good advice. Affordability is the key, specifically when you have higher interest rates right now. I think we had 6.25. Am I right? 6.25.
Yeah, right about there.
Right about there, and that's high. But that's probably going to be the sweet spot moving forward. But Grant Cardone is saying that we're going to get close to 0% interest rate because of the cryptocurrency play, and I want to see how that actually pans out. I don't know. I can see how I can see what he's saying from a fiscal standpoint about them inflating the debt away, and you can incorporate that into it, so where you can leverage more money to where they'll use cryptocurrency as a way to move over, let's say, mortgage-backed securities over to the crypto chain as well. Also, so that allows for them to increase the money supply without really increasing money supply. So not really concerned about any type of failure at all, because they can just print more money and move it over to the blockchain and feel no inflation at all. That's the play there. So I could see what he's saying there. I think that affordability is going to be the key. I always say, if you're in a high interest rate type of environment, become a better negotiator. You heard Cliff say up front that he sees prices going down. It is a buyer's market. So buyers, flex your muscle if you're wanting to buy. But is it better to rent versus buy right now? It depends on what your goal is, right? Your budget is, right? I would not be opposed to renting right now. Why not? And just wait until the price comes down and down and down and down. And it gets to the bottom, and then you can really get a discount to where now it makes sense for you to justify a 6.25, 5.5, or you can do 6.25 rate, buy down to 5.5, 5.25. There's a lot of things you can do to decrease that type of scenario. Cliff, does that make sense at all? No.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it always depends, because the problem is by the time you figure it out that it's no longer a buyer's market, everybody else did too. Yeah. So you got to get it while you can. Yeah. So my big thing is, if you're buying it for you, buy it for you. That means buy something that makes sense to you at a price point that makes sense to you, at a monthly payment that makes sense, the house that you want, because you're going to be in there. It's one of the only investments that you get to live in, right? Correct. So just make sure that as long as you're not paying too much for it, negotiate right now, like you said, negotiate hard. Man, you're going to be all right as long as you play the long game. Real estate's a long-term investment. Yes.
Forget about these falsified, sexy flips to riches quick. No, that shit don't work. That is not the reality at all. Am I right, Cliff? Am I wrong?
No, it's a completely different game than they trying to show you, where you can just flip one house and do another one. It's a lot more work. The economy can flip on you. It's not as streamlined as they make it.
Exactly. So, guys, again, this is a get rich methodical game, not a quick game. All right. So now you've heard from Dave Ramsey, really from a retail standpoint. Now let's hear from one of the GOATs. Cliff really likes this gentleman. I do too. I do, to be honest with you. His name is Ben Mala. But some of you guys may not have know him at all. But when I tell you he's a monster, the guy is a monster when it comes to investing, guys. But listen to what he says about this exact same question, and listen to how different his answer may be versus a Dave Ramsey. Here we go.
For the average person who's interested in the real estate market, who should not buy a home?
If you can rent a property right now for less money, the equivalent property, than owning it, I would suggest you wait, okay, and just rent it. Now, by owning it, if it's a break even and the same, you might consider it just like we were talking earlier, if you think there's going to be future appreciation in the value of the home, then you say, okay, well, it doesn't matter whether I rent or own, but at least if I own, maybe prices will go up in homes and I'll make some money there. So, everybody's got has their own risk tolerance, and, and you got to just decide what's best for you.
Do you think that people need to own a home anymore? Do you think that maybe
personal.
it's this?
A home is personal. It's not business. So, it's like this house. This house is somewhat personal. Well, to me, it's business. Everything's business.
Yeah.
But, homes are normally personal, because you got kids, you got wives, you got 2 cars, you got all these pools and all this. And it's a personal thing. So you're paying for the, the amenities, the pleasure in life. What's the point of working if you're not going to enjoy your life?
See, I almost think that this myth of home ownership is going to go the way of a college education, where people put it down your throat that you need a college degree. And I feel like there's that same sort of pressure for a lot of people that they feel like, I need to own a home, even though when I look at the prices, I'm like, it just doesn't make sense.
The masses of people, the middle income, the middle income masses of people should buy a home, because that's really their only way of giving themselves that extra protection down the road. It's a forced savings account. You keep paying down the mortgage. What happens in 20 years? You're sitting around with a house. It's going to be worth $500,000 or more, and you're not going to have a mortgage on it. So it's a good thing for people that have trouble saving money, and, look at the appreciation, from the house. And it makes sense for the average person, yes.
What do you think about this?
So, Cliff, thinking about what Abimelech just said, how is his answer different from what Dave Rancher was talking about?
I mean, I think they're basically saying the same thing for the most part, right? Okay. Owning a home is personal. Sure. It's to you, whatever you're trying to do. Sure. There's not really a perfection in it. The only difference is when he says, oh, it's about break even, it depends on the price point. You can go rent $1 million house much cheaper than you can own it. Sure. That's normally true, sure. Right? Because you hit that threshold, like we said earlier, right? So if you're trying to, because you got to think those $1 million houses they rent, somebody renting them, right? Somebody's going in there and renting those properties. So it all depends. It all depends. I could see myself renting. Most people want to. I would say this: most people actually want to rent.
Sure.
They just want the upside of 2 things: security, and appreciation.
Correct.
So if more landlords built a different model that incorporated those 2 things, they would, because then you would have a landlord renter relationship where it would be like, hey, how about I give you an upside of 0.5 to 1% appreciate in a year? We can build that in.
Yeah.
How about we have you? I would say basically it's lease options.
Ooh, you go in there.
If they allow more lease options, now as a tenant, you can have more legality to go to court going, you can't sell it. Look at my contract.
Yes, sir. Now we get into solutions now, baby.
Yeah.
Yes, we are. Cliff, bruh, I'm glad you went there, man. Hey, guys, if you are, we just gave y'all some game. If you are leasing and you like the house that you're leasing, right? Or you are in the market to lease right now and you're looking to lease a place, but you like the house, I would look, right, for a house that you can see yourself living in long term, right? And negotiate a lease option. A lease for 3 years or 5 years, right? And at the end of that 3 to 5 years, it can do one or 2 things. You can go refinance. You can negotiate a purchase price up front, right? That's what I would do. And also I would say a portion of my lease payment gets credited toward the purchase price. So at the end of 3 or 5 years, whatever you negotiate, you can then buy for that price point, that new price point, right? Which is fine. That's what I would do. Or if you don't do that at all, let's say for instance, and that now, what if you can't qualify for a mortgage? Well, this is when you become a better negotiator. What if you actually negotiate and say, hey, Mr. Landlord, if I can't qualify for a mortgage because of market itself, do I have an option for you to sell or finance it out to me? So now what's happening is now the seller or the landlord has now become the bank to you. Mm-hmm. And now they shifted over all management of the property, all taxes, All insurance is now upon the leasing/buyer, and now what happens as the landlord has now become the bank. Now he just collects a monthly payment on a monthly basis. That's a lease on steroids.
Yeah, exactly. And to me, that's smart. It's a win-win because now the owner is like, cool. You put a down payment 5%. Usually on lease option, it could be as low as 5%. So cool. I get that cash up front. I keep that. Cool. I get that. Plus, you're paying the monthly. It's your home for everything in there. You
Correct.
stop paying, I get to evict.
Yep.
But as long as you're paying, you get the upside of the appreciation. You can buy it at any time, so you have flexibility. If you want to move in 6-7 years, you can just move.
Yeah.
You have no issues, man. There are some states that allow it and some states that don't. More should do it because it gives more flexibility for people to get into a home and really own it for a long time and have flexibility to it. Well, yeah, you might have to put $15,000, $20,000 down, depending. But that basically bought you onto a home that you could buy anytime you want.
Yeah, I would say when it comes to other states, it's either a lease option or a lease person, or it could be a lease, and you can just put in there. You can put in the language. I'm crediting this percentage into the lease contract, and this is the purchase price. And then at the end, you could just either do another transaction, which is what you had to do in the first place, to either buy the person out or instead of finance transaction. It's real simple. You can get it done in other states. You have to be a little bit more methodical. And again, it has to be legal as well. But that's what I would do. That's what I would do, Cliff, to be honest with you. But that's a win for everybody. That makes sense. Now, Cliff, we went into that, guys. Now let's dive a little bit deeper in this, guys. Hey, guys, next topic. Portable mortgages. That is real. That is really real. And we're trying to figure out what the hell is it? How does it make some sense? How does it make sense? And so with that being said, let's walk through what it truly is real quickly, guys. Then what we're going to do is once we find out what it is, then we're going to look at the strategy behind it. We're going to bring in Steve Forge to make it plain. Here we go. Let's dive into this real quickly. The news talk about what this is and how this makes some sense. I don't know, but let's get into this.
I want to hear about this one. This is interesting to me.
Very interesting. Let's get into it.
As the housing crisis continues to strain first-time buyers or baby boomers looking to downgrade, the Trump administration is floating some new ideas, like portable mortgages. A portable mortgage is just what it sounds like, being able to take the mortgage rate with you if you move, or allowing buyers to assume the mortgage rate the previous homeowners had on the home.
So what you're trying to address here, obviously, is people who are able to refinance at some point in time and were able to get a very low interest rate around that 3%, and now maybe want to move or need to move, but are just really hesitating doing so because their new mortgage may likely carry an interest rate, especially for a 30-year, somewhere between 6 and 7%.
Jennifer Sundstrom with the Realtors Association of Northeast Wisconsin says there's not really a negative to the idea of assumable or portable mortgages, but
how many lenders are going to be willing to do that is really the tricky part in all of this.
Earlier this week, the Trump administration also floated the idea of 50-year mortgages. While those or portable mortgages may open doors for some, Sundstrom says the real solution is increasing supply.
The federal government can do things and the state government is doing things, but at the end of the day, 80% of it comes down to our local communities that decide what we do or do not build and how fast we do it, and have a big impact on the cost of that housing.
And many local communities are taking these steps. The city of Green Bay is expected to soon pass a portion of the 2050 Comprehensive Plan, which will help increase housing supply through the modernization of zoning.
Increased density, which means smaller lots, being able to do more types of residential construction, not just large detached single-family homes, and then allowing different types of housing in more zoning districts.
So while the Trump administration's fresh ideas don't solve the root of the problem, Sundstrom says there's still welcome tools in the toolbox. In Green Bay.
So Cliff, man, real quickly, real quick, and we got some questions concerning this as well. Also, before we get to the questions, and I see the questions in the chat. I got you guys. Don't you worry about it. I got you in your comments on this, Cliff. What was she? Because I heard assumable as well as portable. What do you think is the mechanism behind this, and what is the goal around this? You think?
Well, basically, it's the fact that a lot of people have low interest rates.
Mm-hmm.
Interest rates are basically double that right now, and so nobody wants to be able to sell their property and get a higher interest rate. It makes no sense to do that.
Gotcha. Now, how would a portable mortgage work? Because I'm gonna give you my thoughts on what they're trying to do, and let me know if it makes some sense. When I hear the word assumable, whenever someone assumes a mortgage, they're really applying for a loan to see if they actually qualify for said loan. And if they do, they just assume the mortgage. Real simple, right? With the rate and everything as well, which is fine. Now, let's walk through a hypothetical. If Cliff owns a house, and let's say you have a 2.5% interest rate, right? And you are selling your house, and you're looking to sell the house to go to another house, right? Mm-hmm. I want to come in and I want to buy the house, right? But Cliff wants to move his mortgage from this current house over to the new house. I'm trying to figure out how they're going to make that actually happen. I don't understand the logistics behind that. I understand the assumable portion. If I wanted to assume that mortgage, that's easy. But how can Cliff move the interest rate from said property to say you're 100,000 to a new property that you may owe 300,000 to 2%? How does that make sense? The only way I see it makes sense is if the federal government says, "Hey, Mr. Banker, we will allow here are the parameters for transferring said interest rate over to this new higher loan amount interest rate, right? Here are the criteria, and we'll guarantee it." It's the only way it makes sense to me. Do you agree or no?
It'd be hard to do that. I can't see the government wanting to unless it's an FHA loan, maybe. Mm-hmm. But the only way that I can see, as I'm thinking about it, is it would have to be through the same bank.
Son of a bitch.
The same bank would have to do it. Like, think of it, like if you take that, let's say you're buying a $500,000 house, cool, and you have a $200,000 mortgage at 2%.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
If you transfer that $200,000, you'd have to go back to your original bank and say, "Hey, I want to buy that house next door.
Mm-hmm.
Can we transfer the address to my next door neighbor, the house I'm buying,
okay,
and the additional loan amount I want as a second mortgage?"
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then what the bank would do is, cool, we'll approve the second mortgage and then just do a modification to the first one. So now it becomes a first mortgage. So it'd have to be that's the only thing I'm thinking of. It'd have to be a modification.
Oh,
you see what I'm saying? But that's a lot of work and a lot of paperwork at closing to make that. You know what I'm saying?
Unless, son of a bitch, what if the government begins to not only insure FHA and VA loans, but also conventional loans up to 10%?
Oh, that's a lot of liability.
Ooh.
So wait. You're saying the government would cover 10% of all residential loans?
Yeah.
There ain't no way.
I'm rocking with you, but this is how they'll be able to do that. In theory, the Genius Act, cryptocurrency, they're originating loans, the banks are, normally, they package it into mortgage-backed securities, right? Those mortgage-backed securities are then sold on Wall Street. Once it gets that, those mortgage-backed securities are on Wall Street will actually purchased by a pension fund, and the pension fund just basically transfers it over to their cryptocurrency fund. That's all they're doing is just transferring it over. That's all they're doing because the game is to inflate the debt away. And I agree with the man here, Legentis. I think they will attach some type of PMI to protect the bank and portable. I agree with that. Yep, that's gonna be on there. Yep, yes it will.
But here's the thing, Dale. Talk to me. See, we it's making sense to us. It's clicking. You bought a lot of houses.
Yeah,
I bought a lot. Talk to the people out there who aren't in this every day and try to explain to them, okay, so we're going to take your mortgage. We're going to transfer it over. Now we're going to redo this, and then we're going to package that. And man, that's going to be a tough explanation from your lender.
But the thing about it is, Cliff, they don't, when it comes to FHA and VA, they don't tell them that at all. It's just done on the back end. It's the same principle.
So okay, break that down to me. Let's say you buy in your neighbor's house.
Yeah.
At double the price of your mortgage.
Uh-huh.
How would that work? You're talking about you're getting a brand new loan, and then the difference would be just you break it down to me. I'm missing
what
something.
I'm saying is this here. Okay. Liddell has a house and my rate is 2%. And I want to sell my house and buy a bigger house, right, at a higher loan amount, but I want to bring my 2% over to the new house. How would it make sense for the bank to be able to actually take that risk, right? Simple. If I have a takeout partner. If the government's my takeout partner, I'm cool. I ain't got no loss. I'm straight. Now, why would the government want to do that? Well, simple. They want the market to move. The only way the market only way the currency moves through the government is this what? New debt is being originated. Put it like this. Ford right now is doing 0% interest, 0 down, no payments for 90 days. This is Ford Motor Company. They're doing it right now. So if you have, they have different tiers of credit. Tier 0, A+ credit. Tier 1, which is good credit. Tier 2, tier 3, you're on low end. Tier 4, your credit trash. What they're saying is this here: if you have tier 0 and tier 1, right? What happens is they will assume that you actually have 0%. They'll assume that you actually have tier 0. If you have tier 2, tier 1, it's all they're doing. They're allowing for the subprime market to get the prime rates. That's all they're doing. And all they're doing is they're packaging that paper and put into securities and selling them on the market. That's all they're doing. That's all they're doing. So how would it make sense for a bank to do that when it comes to mortgages? If the government guarantees it. That's why I said, wait a minute. What if the plan is to not only backstop FHA, not only backstop VA, but also conventional? Let's say they're giving 5% down. And the government says, we'll guarantee that. What in the world?
Man, you're talking about the government taking a massive risk. Aren't they talking about Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac going private?
Yes, private, but it's going to be private with some strings attached. Yes, to go private, but the government will still be insuring FHA and VA. Sure will.
Man, the government have to step in.
I agree.
Now you have the government into more yes. U.S. bonds.
That's what they want to do.
Or at least more mortgage bonds.
Yeah. Yes.
Man, I don't know. That seems.
I'm rocking with you. I know that's a stretch.
I don't know about that.
That's a stretch. But again, we're just theorizing with this going on because I'm like, a portable mortgage to me makes no logistical sense. How would it work? A consumer mortgage makes sense because we've done that before several times. But a portable mortgage, how the hell is Cliff going to take 2% from one house and go to 2% to another house which he's buying? Who is taking the risk here?
Right.
And the only way to make sense to a bank like Wells Fargo is if, Mr. Government, I'll do this if you backstop me. Cool. Let's get it. Let's get it. Now, Cliff, we got some questions real fast. One guy said this here. I said, my boy Alonzo, he said, wouldn't portable mortgage tear up appraisal rates?
Not really. I mean, the rates would still be the same. I mean, you have the portable with staying flat, then you have the additional. I mean, you can't. That's what I'm saying. You can't take out the full amount on the next loan. There's no way you could do that because now you're saying you're buying. Because what if you're upgrading and you're upgrading big? Hey, I'm living in a $300,000 house.
Yeah,
and my mortgage is $200,000. And I want to upgrade to $1 million house. I want that same 2% interest rate. Ain't no way. Right?
Yep.
There's no way they could do that. So, so if that's what he's talking about, then you're right. it would mess them up. You couldn't upgrade your house. And then all of a sudden, because wouldn't every rich person go and assume low interest
Hell
loans
yeah.
at 2%
Hell
and then
yeah.
upgrade?
Yes, sir.
Right.
You assuming mortgage. I'm just going to upgrade. That's all I'm gonna do. That's all I'm gonna do. Shit.
You get a call from Grant Cardone. Hey, this is Grant Cardone. I will assume he will assume every 2% loan in the country and
Yes,
upgrade to
sir.
$1 million house.
I'll be like, hey, let's talk. Hey, let's talk some business. Let's talk some business.
Right.
Come on, let's talk some business.
That I would do. I mean, there'd be a whole business around calling people 2%, 3% mortgages.
Yep. We have another comment here. It said this off the previous one. He said, I just seen a couple of YouTube videos where landlords are renting by rooms since some people can afford areas. That's correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that is correct. That is becoming very popular. Pace Morby makes a lot of money doing that. A ton of money doing that. And people are doing it all day long. And they're renting by the week. By the week. Yeah. So that's how they do it. And people, they're loving it. Question right here. Do you think seller finance doesn't have to happen too often because people are greedy and they want that X 100K, the extra 100K in one lump sum?
Nah, I mean, most of the time it's because people don't know how to structure it, and there's a lot of legal things that have to be in place. Mm-hmm. And most people just want it clean. It's easier just to sell it and be done with it than to put yourself in a situation where you have to sell a finance, which has more steps. There's
Correct.
Lawyers involved. There's paperwork involved.
Correct.
Most people are not trying to take that step.
Yeah, he's right. The seller finance contract that people sign with me when it comes to seller finance, or even subject to. You have just a purchase and sale agreement and finance addendum, but the closing documentation, man, you talking about, there's a lot of paperwork.
Yeah.
Subject to type of, which is another form of seller finance. I mean, the contract for that one, my package is probably around about 30 to 40 pages long. If not, I was probably 50 pages long. No, I'm sorry, it's 100 pages long. Because I have trust stuff in there. There's a lot of things that go in there because you have to get to cover so much basis. You have to. So it's a little bit more complex, but once you understand it, it's a powerful tool. I think it's the best kept secret in real estate investing. People don't know about. I mean, you can literally walk into a house right now, guys, somebody that is motivated right now, that really wants to sell and just take over the payment. And I did that one. I did that in 2008, 9. I took over a portfolio of 8 properties in 3 different states for $0. The rate was 2%. I was collecting 10%. I won. I ain't lying to you. Yes, sir. The 3 states were North Carolina, Missouri, and Texas. Those 3 states. But man, Cliff, you want to say anything else, man? This has been a pretty good topic, man.
Nah, man, that's pretty much it, man. Just it's interesting. We're in interesting times. This is an interesting real estate environment. I don't know when it will come back, but it's cyclical. It's all cyclical. We're waiting for another boom to come, for the jobs to come back.
Yeah,
that's what it is. I don't know what's going to jolt that. I think going into next year. But we keep saying that every year. We were waiting on the interest rates to drop. That happened this year. I think going into next year, I think right now the biggest indicator is the jobs report. If we see that go strong, I think you'll see the market start coming back.
I agree. The jobs report is going to be something serious. I think that you're beginning to see, again, the big, beautiful bill tax cuts are going to affect, I think, January the 1st, I believe. Then you actually have the investments that Trump has secured. I think it's $21 trillion, I believe. That goes into effect next year. Of course, the Fed chairman being replaced and the Fed government being replaced, they're going to be more aggressive when it comes to cutting the rates, which would be fine. And of course, the Genius Act goes into place next month as well, also next year. So there's a lot of stuff going on. I think there's going to be a boom, and those that are ready to take advantage of it are going to make a lot of money. Those that are not are going to be stuck on the sidelines again. Don't be stuck on the sidelines, guys. Get ready. Get ready. All right, guys. Now, real quickly, guys, but before we chime out, guys, you have a licensed appraiser on the damn screen. Okay, this is not normal at all, guys. I wish I had someone like Cliff back in the day. Cliff, man, tell him, man, what's going on, brother. Tell him, brother. Did we ever have any type of contact with an appraiser at all, or no?
Nah, never. No. It's just there's not a lot of appraisers, and then to try to get their time and try to explain exactly what goes into an appraisal, because a lot of times people have an idea, but they don't actually know the fundamentals of what goes into an appraisal.
Correct. Now, Cliff, tell them about homeappraiser.com. What do you do? Because this is a licensed appraiser that can really do appraisers, really from a skill standpoint in all 50 states. But he centralizes in really Texas and some other places as well. Tell them about homeappraiser.com.
Yeah, so basically, yeah, exactly that. So go to Hunter Appraisal Services or go to hunterappraisal.com. And so what we end up doing is appraising anywhere in the DFW area, really all throughout Texas. And actually, and I'm gonna let Dale know about this too. We're starting to do commercial, and just realizing doing commercial in all 50 states.
Whoa!
All 50 states.
You heard
so, it. Yeah. So there's one piece to it, but yeah, we can do it in all 50 states now. So I'm starting to do that more. Plus consultations. So I got doing a consultation on someone trying to do a subdivision, walking them through that. Another person who is, man, they're trying to do trying to buy cell phone towers. So they're trying to figure out the finances on that. And so they asked for consultation on that. And just asking for my time to be able to kind of go through it and get the numbers on what they have and just have me review them. So, man, if you have anything like that, or you just need an appraisal, or you're doing a project, just hit me up, hunterappraisal.com, give us a call, email me, answer you back, be able to help you out. Real simple, guys. hunterappraisal.com, guys. You're gonna want his counsel, guys. Did you guys give example from a GC standpoint? We did a renovation in Florida, right? 5 minutes from Michael Jordan's golf club. Cliff, we actually had a budget $600,000 for that whole renovation. Cliff got it down to $350,000, almost half. Now you must say, Dale, what happened to the other half? We put that in our pocket. Profit. Again, consultation is the key, guys. It's real simple. Also, guys, real quickly here. All right. We are real estate investors by trade. So we always say you make money when you buy, not when you sell. This is the secret of the great investors and the novice investors. Now, guys, the art of locating distressed properties is the key. We're giving away a free ebook. It's called Distressed Property Investing, how to locate a distressed property in your city, county, or state, guys. We go through straight strategies in this live here, guys. How to get access to this free ebook. You DM me the word real estate right there. Scan it on the QR code on the screen or in the link below in the show notes. Click on the link. You go, you take a quick survey. That's about it. And then you download the free ebook. It is right there. And it's Cliff and I. We're talking through this whole thing. All right. Yeah. There's also an option for you to also listen to us walk you through line by line this actual ebook. There's an option for that as well. Also, if you want to do that as well. Either way it goes, the ebook is free. We don't want nothing from you at all. Period. You want to say anything, Cliff, before we get off that? Nah, man. Same thing I say every week, man. You're one deal away. One deal away with guys, man. Thank you so much for your time. God bless you. Now, Cliff, man, before we get up, man, we gotta get our chest a little bit. I see you got something on your hat, brother. It's them Dallas Mavericks, man. You see that? We were struggling a little bit, y'all. This early part of the season. Cliff, have we turned it around a little bit? Man, we're on a 3-game winning streak. Hey, 3, yeah, 3. It may be 4 by the end of the night, right? We're gonna see. We're gonna see. We're gonna see, guys. So stay tuned about the Mavs, baby, and just wait till Kyrie comes back. Baby. Here we go. But guys, God bless. Thank you for your time, guys. And we see you guys next week, guys. Before you leave, while you can, you see that thing, guys. Holla at you guys. See you next week, guys. All right, y'all. Peace. My whole thing is, the one thing I hear a lot of the times when it comes to anybody in real estate is, I don't have the money or the credit or the time or the intellectual property. And I said, okay, no problem. I have the money, have the credit, have the relationships. I'll teach you how to locate a good deal, right? Buy below wholesale. I love that. And once I teach you that, right, I'll bring me the deal. Yeah. I help you underwrite the deal, which is fine. I'll even fund the transaction for you as well. So there's no excuses on the table at all. That's why we call that the cash flow club.
period. So what happens is people always ask me all the time, Dale, can you train me? Well, I don't have the time to do that. But what if I set up a platform for it to where you get on-demand training? Anytime you want to, because the training you may need may be after you get off work, early in the morning, during the day. You just log into your account and get the same training as if I'm sitting there one-on-one. We're talking about our attorneys, our general contractors, our appraisers, as well as me, talking about how to structure your business, how to put together what they call a power team. A power team is very important. How to put a deal together, right, and buy it at the right price point. How to market. That's one technique that people don't understand. That you can actually get a list of properties that from your city for free.
Whoa. So walk me through that. Like, you can physically get buildings or homes or properties available for free?
Yeah, I'll send you guys the bill in the mail. It's real simple. What you can do is you can actually call down to your city and ask for the violations division. What happens is you say, hey, I want to see what homes in our city actually have violations. What are violations? High grass, no paint, vacant. You have boards on there. Those are actually violations that the city or citation that the city has actually levied against that property. They'll give you that list for free. It may be a little bit of a fee, maybe $100.
Sure.
But it is what it is. Then what you do is you actually you can contact those sellers of those properties one-on-one.
Wow, and that's how you make your money. That's one way. That's one way.
If you'd like to learn how successful real estate investors make money when they acquire real estate and not when they sell it, click on the link below, swipe up, DM me the word to real estate to download our free ebook, Distressed Property Investing. The blueprint is in the ebook. Stay blessed. I'll let your partner and download the ebook today. What if you could help families lower their bills and get paid for it? Healthcare premiums, insurance rates, and loan interest just keep climbing higher. And most people just keep paying without knowing that there's a better way. We use a fintech platform that connects people to lower healthcare costs, competitive auto and home insurance, better loan products, higher yield bank deposits, and even ways to cut energy costs, all in one place. It's the same technology that banks and big corporations use currently. But now entrepreneurs like us can leverage this technology to build an income stream and help others save. Take our 30-second assessment to see if this business model is a fit for you. Click on the link, watch the short video after, and let's explore what's possible.
Bless God, give thanks. Bless God, give thanks. Bless God, give thanks. Bless God, give thanks. Big God, big grace. Big God.